Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the advanced character of our world around us, and this time we will try to consider and reconsider something that massively touches almost all of us around the world. Only some exceptional cases can avoid it, have opportunity to be deprived of this doubtful pleasure. This doubtful pleasure I want to talk about today is schooling, massive schooling organized by mainly states. Massive and in many places mandatory schooling for kids was originated actually from Prussia, German state heavily militarized that was finally formulated in the 18th century AD, and this state was, as I mentioned, thus heavily militarized, and the main goal of the state was, of course, using army to make other nations subordinate to this and to exploit them. To achieve it, to build a great war machine, actually they did it. One needs to have almost absolute control over the inhabitants of your own country. So the best control, as we know, is self-control. So to inject the self-control in the minds of people, one needs to educate them and educate massively, and of course, in order to achieve the best effects, one needs to educate his own people from the very early age. So state directed massive mandatory education was the perfect system to achieve it. And Prussian state was one of the first introduce it. Of course, I also fall the victim to the mandatory state educational system. And the viewers of my channel, my subscribers, and not only the ones who watch it, I think can easily guess what's my opinion about state-led massive education. Of course it's negative, because it doesn't teach to children useful stuff. They are not able even to do things that are needed to function in organized society in the cities. For instance, majority of the alumni of the school is not able to write proper request or application to the officials to fix their own stuff, like tax refund, like repairment of the building in which they are living, and so on and so on. They need to hire someone to do it for them. But one needs to remember that when they were young, they digested the best years they had to the public educational system, and the only outcome for majority of them, almost all, is the fact that with their presence on these boring and painful lessons, they only justified the employment of, in most cases, useless and dumb teachers. Here I truly apologize, really apologize, about 10-15% minority of really great people who are teachers at any level and really do it. I mean, teach young children because this is their vocation. But their number is not greater than 15% of entire teachers' population in every country. And one needs to also take into account that what educational system also offers us is completely no knowledge about the survival in basic survival in the places that are outside the civilizational world. Of course, we are completely vulnerable. So the first conclusion is that educational system, mandatory massive educational system organized by state, doesn't provide us basic skills, and we are not able to survive neither in the civilized cities nor outside in the wildlife, because we have no knowledge. Another issue I have with state educational system is that very often children are stuffed with some state or other ideologies like nowadays such ideologies like gender or other stuff like this that are promoted by some political environments and corporations that would like to shape the largest number possible of citizens of some countries just simply to make them their forever customers. That's it, and earn on them, milk the money from them and their parents. This is another stuff. So educational system doesn't work for you, doesn't teach you anything useful, and you are only justifying the employment of teachers who are not good in the vast majority, and state-owned educational system shapes you to be servant of the state, or at least not troublemaker to the state, or just simply makes you internal servant or customer of great corporations. So you gain nothing. One of the solutions to this huge problem world can offer is homeschooling. Homeschooling is allowed mainly in Anglo-Saxon countries, but in countries like Poland is also allowed. But there are countries that are jealous on their citizens, like Germany, like, as far as I know, Russia, China, of course, that they do not want to give any freedom to citizens to shape their own mind and the mind of their own children. They want to shape their inhabitants from the very early stage, most likely even from conception if possible, till the biological death. But we see on example of Germany that this nation that is so well in quotation shaped by the state-owned educational system, now it's declining really quickly, and it's more and more degenerated, and people are not even able to create any goods they are using in their everyday life, stuffed with consumption. Simply they need to import it. How long can they do it? How long this economy can sustain? Not so long, because the possibility of extension of European Union, so German machinery to exploit other nations, is actually over. So soon we will see how all of this nasty machine will simply stop. This is the problem. And now we see, of course, my favorite modern German society is a perfect example how dedication to the consumption and how state-owned educational system makes society completely degraded. Yeah, politicians and corporations wanted to have peace, so they introduced welfare state. Of course, they tighten the shackles of the state-owned education over the people, and now they have society with which they cannot do anything, and they cannot demand anything from this society. It's slowly collapsing, and nations around that would be possible to be exploited are also over, because world is limited, even sky is limited. So homeschooling is the alternative, and I really would like to encourage more and more people to try it on your own. I know that there are many excuses. I work, I don't have time. Actually, this excuse I will never buy. It's self-organization and time management and investment in your own children is the best you can do. Of course, not all parents are able to educate their own kids in every subject. So they should get rid of devices and simply collect some money for hiring a good teacher. That's it. But one should get rid of consumptionist way of thinking and get rid of some vices. Here I have to quote Benjamin Franklin. For one vice in life, getting rid of one vice in life, like smoking or drinking, one can educate two children for this many decades to come, not having these vices. All the best, have a nice day, bye, and take care.